India faced a storm, that is the emergency of 1975 under the leadership of Indira Gandhi, where the rights were crushed, the press were silenced, and the fear overruled. Now the question is, if the freedom is taken silently, is it completely yours? No, because the democracy demands the courage. The democracy demands the voice. The one lesson that emergency shouted is very clearly and very loudly that the power without the accountability is nothing else. It is dangerous. I mean, absolutely dangerous. So as the group of wise students present in this hall, we should not glorify the mistakes done in the emergency. Rather, we should carry the learnings we learned after the emergency. Now, coming to my point. My first point is, in 1975, India was at breaking point. The triple-digit inflations, the hoardings, and the endless railway strikes stopped the economy. Now, here comes about the first lesson we learned. That is, the nation cannot function when there is continuous strikes. That creates an obstacle for the governance and the continuity. Now, during the emergency, many protests in the places like the Gujarat and Bihar led by Jai Prakash Narayan disrupted the administration. And here comes a point, my dear friends. When the system stops working, the government cannot remain silent. And here comes about the second point we learned, that is, in democracy, it needs the protest. That's true, but it also needs an order. When the disruption becomes permanent, the government collapses, and in that case, the government has to intervene in this case. Now let me take you to the part of Odisha. Our state Odisha learnt about the administrative accountability. The state Odisha utilized the emergency to implement the 20-point program under the leadership of our Chief Minister Nandini Sapkarti during that period. So from the paddy fields of our district Bargarh to the offices in the Bhubaneswar, the third lesson learnt is clear. And what is that? When the nation becomes accountable and decisive, the welfare reaches to the poor. Now coming to my fourth point, that is, yes, mistakes happen. MISL led to the arrest and the press censorship, I do not deny. But here comes the fourth lesson we learned, that is, the rights must not depend upon the mood of the power. And what is the meaning when I say the mood of the power? That means, let me take the evidence, right? So, later the reforms ensure that the right to life and liberty, that is Article 21, can never be suspended again. And judiciary reforms perform the final guardian. Now, as I conclude, I must say, my opponent will speak the silence of the press, but I stand in the discipline of progress. They call it the dark night of the democracy. I call it the Anushashan Parva, the chapter of discipline. So from now onwards, if anyone says India lost its way in 1997, tell them that India for 21 months found its will, its character, and the capacity to act. Yes, emergency tested the democratic character, sir, and the constitution is endured. With this, I remain. Thank you.